Certainly. Here's a more detailed exploration of the story of the horse, emphasizing its evolution, historical significance, cultural impact, and modern role. The evolution of the horse. The horse, Equus ferus cabalus, has a remarkable evolutionary history spanning millions of years. Its ancestors were small, forest-dwelling mammals. The earliest known ancestor, Eohippus, or the dawn horse, lived around 50 million years ago during the Eocene epoch. It was no larger than a small dog, had 4 toes on its front feet and 3 on its back feet, and primarily browsed on leaves. Over time, as grasslands expanded and the climate changed, horses evolved to become larger, faster, and more suited to grazing, with long legs and single-toed hooves for speed and endurance. By the Pleistocene epoch, the modern horse genus, Equus, had emerged. These horses roamed across Asia, Europe, Africa, and North America, thriving in open grasslands. However, around 10,000 years ago, horses in North America became extinct, possibly due to climate change and overhunting by humans. The species survived in Eurasia, where they would later be domesticated. Domestication and early uses. The domestication of the horse began around 4,000 to 3,500 BCE in the Eurasian steppes, likely in what is now Kazakhstan. The Botai culture is often credited with being among the first to domesticate horses. Archaeological evidence, such as bit wear on horse teeth and remnants of mare's milk, suggests that horses were initially used for milk and possibly meat. Over time, horses were harnessed for labor, transportation, and eventually warfare. The domestication of the horse was a turning point in human history, enabling the development of more extensive trade networks, faster communication, and more effective military campaigns. The horse, in ancient civilizations, Mesopotamia, and Egypt. Horses appeared in Mesopotamia and Egypt around 2000 BCE, primarily as chariot animals. In Egypt, they became symbols of wealth and power, often associated with the pharaohs and military strength. Indus Valley and China. Horses played a crucial role in the spread of cultures along the Silk Road. In China, they were integral to the Han Dynasty's military might and were prized for their speed and stammy Europe. By the time of the Roman Empire, horses were essential for transport, agriculture, and war. The Romans bred horses for specific purposes, such as pulling chariots or carrying the horse in war and conquest. The horse's role in warfare revolutionized human conflict. Cavalry units, chariots, and mounted soldiers gave armies unprecedented speed and mobility. Famous examples include the Scythians and Huns. Nomadic horse cultures, like the Scythians and Huns, used their mastery of horseback riding to dominate vast territories. Alexander the Great. His horse, Bucephalus, became legendary, symbolizing the bond between leader and steed. The Mongols. Under Genghis Khan, the Mongols used their highly skilled horse-mounted warriors to create one of the largest empires in history, cultural, and religious significance. Horses have held deep symbolic meaning in many cultures' mythology. Horses feature prominently in myths and legends, such as Pegasus, the winged horse of Greek mythology, and Sleipnir, the 8-legged steed of Norse god Odin. Religious practices. In Hinduism, horses were sacred animals associated with the Ashvins, twin gods of sunrise and sunset. In some cultures, horses were even sacrificed in rituals to honor gods or kings. Art and literature. Horses are frequent subjects of art, literature, and poetry, representing beauty, freedom, and power. They appear in cave paintings dating back over 30,000 years, as well as in epic tales like the Trojan War. The horse, in exploration and expansion, When Spanish explorers brought horses to the Americas in the 15th and 16th centuries, they transformed indigenous cultures. Tribes like the Comanche and Lakota became exceptional horse riders, using horses for hunting, travel, and warfare. Horses also played a pivotal role in colonial expansion, exploration, and the establishment of trade routes like the Silk Road, and later, the Pony Express in the United States. The Industrial Revolution and decline of utility. The 19th century marked a turning point in the horse's utility. The invention of steam engines, trains, and automobiles gradually replaced horses in transportation and labor. However, they remained essential in agriculture and logging in rural areas well into the 20th century. Modern role of the horse today. Horses are no longer vital for transportation or labor, but hold a cherished place in human society, recreation, and sports. Horse racing, polo, dressage, and show jumping are popular equestrian sports. The Kentucky Derby, for instance, the story of the horse is deeply intertwined with human history, spanning thousands of years. Horses have been companions, workers, and symbols of power and freedom. Here's a brief journey through their story. Evolution and domestication. Evolution. Horses evolved from small, multi-toed creatures called Eohippus around 50 million years ago. Over time, they adapted to their environments, growing larger and developing single hooves domestication. Around 4,000 to 3,500 BCE, horses were first domesticated on the steppes of Central Asia, modern-day Kazakhstan. Initially, they were used for milk and meat before becoming transportation and work animals. Early use, agriculture, and transport. Horses revolutionized farming, making plowing and transportation more efficient. War. By 2000 BCE, horses were used in warfare, pulling chariots in the ancient Middle East and Egypt. Mounted cavalry later replaced chariots, making horses indispensable in battles. Cultural significance, mythology, and religion. Horses often appear in myths, from Pegasus in Greek mythology to the Ashvins in Hindu traditions. They were seen as symbols of strength, speed, and freedom. Status symbol. In many societies, owning horses indicated wealth and power. Nobility often used them for hunting, sport, and display. Horses in exploration and trade spread across the world. Horses spread through trade and conquest. They were introduced to the Americas by Spanish explorers in the 15th century, transforming indigenous cultures like the Plains tribes, who became skilled horse riders. Trade routes. Horses played a crucial role in trade, such as along the Silk Road and in the Pony Express. Industrialization and modern role decline in utility. The rise of automobiles and mechanized farming reduced the need for horses in transportation and labor recreational use. Horses are now mainly used for sport, leisure, and therapy. Equestrian sports like dressage, racing, and polo keep their legacy alive. Symbolism and legacy horses remain symbols of freedom, grace, and strength. Their story is a testament to their adaptability and the bond they've shared with humans for millennia.